Welcome back to my channel, D Lady Diana. Today we're going to try something a little bit different. I want to watch Drew Binsky because he has the videos where he travels, and that's definitely one of the things I want to do. I know everyone makes fun of women because they want to travel, but it is what it is. You want to get to see different parts of the country, you know what I mean? You can do it as a couple, you can do it. I would not recommend to do it solo, ladies, but hey, you do what you do. We know that there's solo travels, so as long as you know what you're doing, you can do it safe. There's also Mary Jane, a lot of other creators that do travel single. So good luck to you guys. But for me, I'd like to be on a travel as a couple, you know what I mean? Feeling safe, having that protection, and that's just what it is for me. So we're gonna jump right into this video because I think it's gonna be very interesting. And don't judge me because I am going to do my hair as usual as I review this video, do a reaction to this video. I love Drew Binsky, and we're gonna just watch him take travels all over the place because it's really something I like to do someday. So, you know, I'm gonna do my hair, so guys, don't judge me. That's just what I'm saying. Don't judge me. Okay.
I spent the last 12 years visiting every country in the world.
Woo! It's crazy!
Yes, all 197 nations, including North Korea.
We're at the top of the Juche Tower in Pyongyang.
Most of my time has been spent in big cities, and I've been to thousands of them, like where I am right now in Hong Kong.
Conquered it!
In this video, I'm going to break down my top 20 favorite and least favorite cities on Earth.
Stuck in traffic.
Based on my own personal travel experience. On the comment below if you agree or disagree. And with that being said, let's start with my top 20 favorite cities in no particular order. Number 1, Prague, Czech Republic. The city that first kicked off my travel bug in 2012 when I moved to Prague to study abroad and lived there for 6 months. I just fell in love with Czech culture right off the bat. It's Eastern Europe, but it's like encroaching on the West. So you have kind of a little bit of both, but it's grungy, amazing people. Nightlife is great. Beer is cheaper than water. It's a really cool starting point in Europe because it's very affordable in Prague, way cheaper than Western Europe. It's in the center of the continent, so you can easily take a bus to Berlin or to Munich or anywhere else to get around. And Prague is so small that you can walk the whole city. There's a lot of things to do there. You have Old Town Square, you have John Lennon Wall, you have one of the oldest castles in the world. You have small little districts and corners that are beautiful with cute cafes, medieval buildings.
I love it.
If you've never been to Prague before, then you must add it to your next Euro trip bucket list because I promise you, you're going to have the time of your life. Gets a bad rep in Western media, maybe for political reasons because of where it's located in the world. But I gotta say, Beirut is freaking awesome.
I got cousins there. Okay, I have a cousin who's in Lebanon right now doing work. I'm not gonna tell you what kind of work he does because I respect my family's privacy, but he's doing good, great work out there. We're all creative. Okay, let's see the next.
Amazing. You have Mediterranean coast. You have very open-minded, smart people who speak English, French, and Arabic.
Lebanon. Liban. Lebanon.
Nightlife in Beirut is insane. Everyone goes out and parties, has a great time.
Go to the shisha with a watermelon on top.
And they've gone through a lot of like Lebanese people, like.
What are they saying?
They want to overthrow the regime. Yeah.
People my age, they've gone through war. Their parents' age, they've gone through more wars. Their grandparents' age, they've gone through more wars. They're just a resilient bunch. And the cherry on top is that they have one of the best cuisines in the world. Falafel, shawarma, tabbouleh, hummus and kibbeh. It's just the best. Number 3, Seoul, South Korea.
Oppan Gangnam Style.
The place where I lived and taught English for 2 years, fresh out of college. Korea is so cool because it's underrated. Everybody goes to Tokyo or Bangkok or Singapore or Hong Kong. But I gotta tell you, Seoul is where it's at.
Behind us is the tallest tower in Seoul, and we're about to go to the top. What do you feel?
I like it. If you like Korean barbecue, you know, where you cook the meal yourself and get all the little side dishes. And if you like to drink with your friends and have a night out on the town, then Seoul's your place. There's 25 million people living in the city. It's half the population of the entire country of South Korea. And it's just cool. It's vibrant. It's buzzing. There's markets.
Cheers, bro.
I love it. It's the little beat.
Oh,
I love it.
Oh, yeah.
You have old Buddhist temples. You have traditional villages like the Bukchon Hanok village. You can hike Bukhansan Mountain to get the view of Seoul. You can go to the K-pop district of Hongdae. You can go to the foreigners district of Itaewon or Gangnam, which is like Beverly Hills. The fact of the matter is, you will never be bored in Seoul, and don't overlook the city on your next trip to Asia.
This is a cool moment, bro.
Number 4, Bangkok, Thailand. I like to say that Bangkok is actually the most affordable big city in the world, meaning you can have luxury things. It's like nice and fancy, but you can live for really affordable. Like $1,000 a month can get you a really nice apartment in a good place in town. If you eat out, all your meals will be between $1 and $3 or $4.
I just took my first bite ever of jungle curry, and I can't even breathe because I can feel the fumes.
Like, yeah, Thailand might be a third world country, but Bangkok is like really modern, really nice, really clean. As you've probably seen before, you have incredible Buddhist temples and shrines and pagodas.
This is Wat Po in Bangkok.
You can take a boat on the river. You have many cool nightlife districts like Ekamai, fancy restaurants. You have Khao San Road, which is the backpacker district, which is pretty cool to visit. You have really upscale restaurants. The food in Thailand, you can easily take a bus to Berlin. So you can easily take a bus.
I just rewinded back, y'all. I'm sorry, because that place looked like Chinatown. That looked like Chinatown just now. Looked like straight Chinatown. But these places look so beautiful. The architecture, the history, the everything. I just love it. I would love to go. The food, I love the food that they already mentioned, like kipe. I love kipe. I love tabbouleh. I just love it all. Like falafels and all that Mediterranean goodness.
Place in Mexico. It breaks my heart that a lot of tourists, they just go to the beaches in Mexico, like Cancun, like Tulum and Cabo. Go inland. That's where all the culture is in Mexico. That's where all the enriching experiences are and the tastiest food.
Oh my God, that is good.
And Mexico City is right in the smack dab center of the country, and it's freaking awesome.
Behind me is the Bellas Artes, which means beautiful arts. It's absolutely stunning. It makes me feel like I'm back in Europe.
You have cool neighborhoods like Roma and Condesa, which have a lot of the world's top 20 bars. Amazing, amazing food, street tacos.
Very good.
And it's very affluent. Mexico has a bad stereotype in the US as being poor or whatever. And sure, many parts of it might be underdeveloped, but Mexico City is awesome. A lot of people speak English.
I was born here in Mexico City and I was raised here, and I've lived here almost all my life.
It's just a cool place to hang out. And it's really a place that you can get lost in the little alleyways and find little markets and get in with the local life. And that's why Mexico City is so awesome. I've only been twice, and I can't freaking wait to get back there. Meanwhile, durian. This is known as the stinkiest fruit in the world. Can't find durian in Thailand. Oh, but they do have my favorite fruit in the world. Before I tell you about city number 8, I have to get longan. Oh my God, this is my favorite. And it's in season right now. Hello, longan. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. You want?
I'll be trying to do my hair with no
Number
comb.
8 is Hanoi, Vietnam, a place that I lived with Deanna for 8 months back in 2017.
Deanna,
Is where I
like
got started with my whole
me.
travel
Deanna.
career.
See you next time for $10 in Hanoi.
I realized that a lot of my favorite cities in the world are places that I live. But that's because I moved there for good reason. They are the coolest cities in the world. Hanoi is no exception. The food is fantastic.
We're gonna get a banh mi sandwich.
Closer to the China border, so there's some more influence from China, which I think is actually really cool, especially because I just traveled mainland China for the last 18 days. It's really cool in that country. Vietnamese pho is fantastic. Bún chả, the pork noodles. I know it's super cool because the streets are really narrow and they're all named after what is sold on that street. That's how the whole city was made.
This is the Tin Street.
That's the thing. I love all that, but I love the cheap eats and stuff, but no pork on my fork. So let's get that out the way now, okay? By noon.
All the shops here are selling tin or metal things. This is the Glasses Street. Every shop is glasses. Look, this is the Shoe Street.
It's cool because you have these old men who smoke tobacco out of these big bongs. You can get lost in the alleyways. Vietnam used to be a French colony, so there's a beautiful French quarter with a really old cathedral. And you have Hon Kiem Lake, which is a beautiful lake to walk around. And Vietnamese people are really friendly and shy, but just a super cool vibe out there. Oh, and don't forget to try the egg coffee. Raw eggs in coffee. Sounds disgusting, but it's like a custardy type flavor. It's really freaking tasty.
Totally different than any coffee you would have around the world.
Lastly, Hanoi is probably in the top 10 cheapest big, desirable cities in the world. Number 9, Vancouver, Canada. You know, I first went to Vancouver when I was 18. I remember like being able to legally drink in British Columbia, but I couldn't in the US. All of British Columbia is beautiful. Driving from Banff all the way over, crossing Alberta, and seeing the beautiful nature and terrain of British Columbia is fantastic. But the city of Vancouver, it's really clean. It's just north of Seattle, so it's somewhat similar culturally. It's almost can be seen as like an extension of Seattle, but it's in Canada, which means you have way nicer people, cleaner streets, not so many homeless people, and just a really high quality of life and living. Vancouver has some of the bluest water. It's cold ocean water. It's not like tropical beach water, but it's really blue, which is a testament to the cleanliness of the city. And the Asian food in Vancouver is so good. And as someone who eats 90% of his meals is Asian food, I gotta say, like Korean, Japanese, Thai, Vietnamese, Chinese, it's pretty bomb in Vancouver. Number 10, Belgrade, Serbia.
Dan and I are taking a lovely stroll here in Belgrade. Really one of the best cities in Europe as far as I'm concerned.
Easily one of the coolest cities in Europe and the world. Used to be the former capital of Yugoslavia. It's a big city in Eastern Europe. Serbian people are cool, outgoing, friendly. They want to have a good time. They want to invite you to their house. They want to drink a beer with you. And they're really proud of their country, which is what I really respect and admire. As a huge sports fan, I also think it's cool that the best tennis player in the world currently and the best basketball player in the world currently are both Serbian, Djokovic and Jokic.
And it's true.
You're gonna lose a lot of people there.
Djokovic wins!
Because the world, so.
Belgrade is really medieval and cool and way cheaper than Western Europe and even cheaper than Eastern European cities like Prague and Budapest. Belgrade is even cheaper. There's a really cool fortress that you can hike up that intersects where two big rivers meet, the Sava and the Danube. And if you like nightlife, Serbians go hard. There's a bunch of like river boats that turn into nightclubs, literally on the water. They drink this stuff called rakia, which is really strong liquor.
That is strong.
And the food is great. Cevapcici, which is this like minced meat. They like their pita breads and their salads of tomato and cucumber. I don't know. I'm about to be back in Belgrade again for like the 8th time, and I can't freaking wait. Number 11, Hong Kong.
Would you be interested in collecting
Okay, guys,
five-figure paychecks for a few hours of work, helping me in your spare time?
Don't judge me. Okay, I had it. I took it away. Took it away again. So we're not playing those games.
So much to love about this city. I've been exploring here the last few days. It's my 10th time here. And this city really has it all. First off, the view. This is a view of Hong Kong Island from the Kowloon side. You can see it's one of the best skylines in the world. This city gets 34 million visitors a year, which is not surprising because there's so many things to do. It's honestly like Disneyland for tourists. You can come here, you can try some dim sum, which is actually a specialty of Hong Kong. And there are plenty of other amazing dishes here. It's kind of a cool place for East meets West. So you have this like Chinese city, but it's like really westernized with a lot of foreigners.
I'm from Vancouver, BC. I'm Canadian.
And the signs are in English, and a lot of people here can speak English. So that's also really cool. And it's just a really vibrant city that always delivers. Number 12 is Amsterdam, one of the best cities in Europe. It's a place that I first went in 2012 on my very first trip to Europe. What I love about Dutch people and culture is that they're so open-minded. They're really sarcastic in their humor. So if they make fun of you, don't take it personally. But I just find them to be really accepting of everyone. And that's one of my biggest attractions towards Amsterdam. Of course, you have amazing nightlife and parties. They love electronic music, having a good time. They love their leisure time. Vondel Park is one of the most beautiful parks in the world. I recommend renting a bike and riding around. And speaking of bikes, everyone in Amsterdam bikes. It's like the craziest setting when you go there and see the bike culture. So rent a bike when you get there to explore, and don't forget the Heineken Museum. If you know me, I'm not a museum guy, but this is actually a cool museum. Number 13, Istanbul, the only city in the world that is split between two continents, Asia and Europe.
Just like that, we've entered Asia. Same city.
I think Turkey overall is fantastic. I always go back. I actually did a huge road trip there during COVID times. I spent weeks in Turkey, and I probably spent 3 total months of my life traveling around the country, which is just beautiful.
Just really feel the magic of the city when you're standing in between Hagia Sophia and the Blue Mosque.
Turkish food is fantastic. Obviously, you have kebabs.
Very good, man.
You have lumpir, which is this baked potato. You have Turkish tea and coffee, which are delicious. And there's just a whole lot of cool things to do. Part of it does feel European and part of it does feel Asian. So it really is stuck in between both continents. It's a pretty affordable place to visit. Things are pretty cheap there.
25. That definitely fits the budget, 25.
And the drivers are crazy. Make sure you don't get in a random taxi driver. You might lose your mind. Number 14 is Los Angeles, California.
Good morning from sunny Los Angeles, California.
A place where I've been hundreds of times. I've actually lived there for a few months as well.
Biking around LA is nothing better than this, I'm telling you.
I think LA is great. It definitely gets a lot of hate for being overrated or being too chill. Cali, bro. I'm gonna run or I'm gonna miss this boat. But the vibes in LA really are fantastic. The weather's always nice year round. There's beaches everywhere. Like, there's beaches along the whole coast, and they're actually nice beaches.
We just love it out here. It's so beautiful.
Yes, it's pricey, but so is every other big city in America. So I wouldn't let that scare you away from LA. They have a great sports culture.
LeBron James!
And it's also a good jumping off point if you want to do a road trip in Southern California, because you have San Diego nearby, Palm Springs, and even Vegas and Phoenix are not that far away. You've seen it in all the movies, Beverly Hills, Hollywood. It's all there in LA, and it really is a special place. Number 15, Dubai. I love Dubai so much, and I'm actually considering moving there with my wife in the next few months. A lot of people hate Dubai because it has no culture. Yes, 90% of all local residents are expats. They're not actually Emiratis from the country. But Dubai is really a melting pot, and you can get any kind of food there. It's a really cool network of young, savvy business professionals who are really smart. Everybody speaks English. And the best part about Dubai is that it can connect you to the rest of the world. You're just within a 4-hour flight from like 50 different countries between Europe, Africa, Asia. And it's just a really, really cool place. It does resemble the future. Number 16, Singapore. Perhaps the biggest rival of Hong Kong because of its proximity to each other, and also they're both huge Asian hubs. Singapore really has grown on me over time. My first visit, I was turned off by the heat. It's almost on the equator, and it is like the hottest place I've ever been. I also thought things were quite expensive, and I didn't get the big draw of Singapore compared to other neighboring cities like Kuala Lumpur or Bangkok. However, I will say that Singapore has some of the best restaurants in the world, and there's a lot more to the Singapore story than just a tourist ring. You really have to get in the back alleys of Singapore to find the best hole-in-the-wall restaurants and to find these really cool dive bars that you would not know exist elsewhere. Singapore is so clean that it's actually illegal to chew gum, and it's super safe. If you're caught doing any kind
So he mentioned dive bars. The funny thing is, dive bars in New York City are literally dive bars. Like, you go to a little hole in the wall spot, you know what I mean, and they're serving like drinks back to back, and they literally, you can dive on the bar. Like, I don't know if you guys been to like a real dive bar in New York, but you can literally dive on the bar. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. But listen, it's part of New York, okay? Go down to where the college students back in the days when I used to have like the brunch, you know, boozy brunches and stuff. Dive bar.
of drugs, they will give you the death penalty. It's that strict. Some of my favorite places are Chinatown, to go to hawker centers, which are big open-air food markets that you have to visit. Gardens by the Bay is cool, and if you can get to the pool on top of the Marina Bay Sands, you're in for a real treat.
Looks like
Number 17, Taipei, Taiwan. This is really a gem of a city, and the first thing I think about in Taipei are the night markets. As soon as the sun goes down every night, there are dozens of night markets, which are places to get street food, hang out with your friends, have a drink. It's a really, really, really cool atmosphere that I wish was replicated in other places around the world.
If you just dip into the side streets here, you find temples and lanterns, and it's like super traditional.
Taipei is also the home of Din Tai Fung. If you've never heard of that restaurant, it's now a chain around the world. But they invented these soup dumplings. They're called Xiaolong Bao. They're little pork soup dumplings. They're so good they taste like candy. It's really a shame that Taipei gets overlooked compared to other big cities in Asia, but I promise you that it's really a gem of a place. And it's a lot cheaper than other big cities. And lastly, don't forget to try beef noodle soup. It's the best in Taipei.
The flavor is amazing.
Number 18 is Rome, Italy. As I say, all roads lead to Rome, and it's so true because everything is there.
Oh my God. Wow, this church is beautiful.
It's such a big city, but it's really a walking city because the whole thing is like a museum. You're walking by all these ancient ruins, the Colosseum, the Parthenon, the Vatican, the list goes on. There's so many historical relics in Rome, more than anywhere else.
Incredible.
And they said so much of it hasn't even been discovered because you still have to excavate way below the ground because it's...
You heard that part, right? There's a lot of artifacts and stuff in Rome. And guess what? Where there's a lot of artifacts, I bet you they bury a lot of secrets too. Do your history.
City is kind of built over time in different levels. A lot of people think Rome is famous for pizza. It's really not. It's all about the pasta in Rome. Cacio e pepe is the classic good Roman pasta, but there's so many other kinds to choose from. Thick noodles is better than thin noodles, in my opinion.
Man, that is good.
The wine is delicious. And yeah, Rome might not be the friendliest in Europe, but it's definitely a vibe, and I highly recommend a visit. Number 19 is Cape Town, South Africa.
Now I can see why everybody loves this place. Holy crap, look at this view. It is stunning.
I just had the pleasure of visiting Cape Town for the first time a few months ago, and man, everything I've heard about the city is true. It really is the most magical place on the continent of Africa, and I don't say that lightly because I love Africa. First off, the nature is beautiful. You're covered in all these mountains and beaches everywhere. You could just take a car and go a little bit south of Cape Town to the actual southernmost point of the African continent, and you can find penguins there. Literally, there's penguins in Cape Town. I didn't even know that before I went.
So amazing to see this in South Africa.
There are wineries everywhere in the region. There's golf courses everywhere, like some of the best golf courses I've ever played. And the vibes are just amazing. I love the people in Cape Town. They're awesome. Their accents are fun to listen to.
Ready for traveling. Here we go.
There's really cool street markets there. And it's kind of got this grungy vibe with like bars and hipster people. I just think it's a really cool mix of cultures. And it's a place that I definitely will be back in the near future. All right, and to round this list of my top 20 favorite cities in the world, we're gonna have to go with New York City. The Big Apple. The reason that many people come to the United States of America is to see the Statue of Liberty, to go to a Yankees game.
That's my city, y'all. So if you want to learn anything about New York City, you can just go to my channel, The Lady Diana. You got to shed hair, so I'm shedding a little hair. That's normal. There ain't nothing to fret about because, I'll be growing and stuff, growth in process. Thank you, guys.
300 for Aaron Judge.
To eat Joe's Pizza, to walk around Times Square, and to feel the history of one of America's oldest and most insane cities.
I did Joe's Pizza on my channel too, so y'all could check that out. I got a lot of views on that. I'm just saying.
Really love about New York is that the neighborhoods are all really different, even within Manhattan itself. You could go to the Lower East Side, you can go to the Upper East Side, you can go to Soho, you can go to Chinatown or Little Italy, and all these places are walkable, literally. You're just going like 10.
And if you want to know what I'm putting in my hair, I like to get my hair ready for the next day, the night before, so I'm not like taking an hour to get ready like some people do. And I don't wear makeup. The most I'm going to do is wear stuff on my lips. I've got some aloe vera, boiled it in some water, put a couple of things in there, and I'm diluting this into my hair. And I also made my own handmade body butter. Also, you can use for your hair and your face. And, has a little bit of aloe vera shea butter, a lot of other goodies, but we're not going to get into all that. If you're interested, you go to my Poshmark page. My name is called D Lady Butter, D Butter Lady, the letter D, butter spelled out lady at Poshmark. And you can try a sample of my body butter.
20 blocks. It's one of the most diverse cities in the world.
I'm from Pakistan. I'm from Egypt.
Oh, North Korea.
You can get any kind of cuisine. And I know some of you New Yorkers might not agree with my next statement, but Queens is my favorite borough in New York.
Obrigado! Woo!
You can find any kind of food. It's super underrated. It's not touristy. The Koreatown in Queens is way bigger than the one in Manhattan. And it's just a cool vibe in Queens.
Colombia, Peru, Paraguay, Qatar, Bolivia, Chile, Ecuador, Brazil, Japan, Argentina, Uruguay, Venezuela. Boom!
All right, and now for my 20 least favorite cities. But first, I'm going to head to the other side of town.
What's that? The Bronx? Oh, another part.
I do
Queen.
two things that
Yes, y'all. I
dancing.
did not get the YouTube Premium. I'm gonna get it. Yes, it's in my future plan.
1. Conakry, Guinea.
We've been walking around for about 10 minutes. We've already been stopped by 2 policemen. The other policeman put us in his car, and
First, you need to say that the whole city is insane.
yeah.
This is by far one of my least favorite places in the world. Not only because when I arrived there was a coup. There were policemen lined up on the streets with big shields and bulletproof vests like war was about to break out.
Got in the car and we drove off, and he ended up going to the next checkpoint ahead, which we're stuck at right now, and he ratted us out. And now our driver, poor Marlon, he has to deal with all this crap. He's negotiating with them.
I'm pretending I'm taking money from you.
Very sick of it. How much did you pay him?
$20.
That's a big bribe.
It's all over West Africa.
Also because the entire city smelled like trash. It was like sewage everywhere. And like, I have a high tolerance for dirty places, and I've seen a lot of things around the world, but Conakry was noticeably the worst. People there were not very friendly at all. In fact, I tried.
Puerto Rico's not the only place that have landfill issues. Okay, there's trash everywhere in these third world countries, and that's just what it is, the reality.
I sit down at a restaurant and then some dude kicked me out for reasons that I don't know why.
It just feels like this is one of the most unsafe.
And the only kind of pleasant thing to see in Conakry was this mosque, which actually was quite nice.
Sugar. Wow, this is amazing. We're the only ones in here right now. It's crazy.
But other than that, I found nothing going on in the capital of Guinea, and it's probably a place that I will never visit again. Number 2 would be N'Djamena, Chad. Many of you guys heard my story many years ago when I went there and made a video from my experience in Chad.
This place is miserable.
And I actually am going to give it another chance soon. I'm planning to head back to Chad in the next few months. But basically what happened to me was I was caught in a police chase because the motorbike taxi that I went on was a stolen bike, and there was a huge brawl in the street. And then when I took a picture of a kid on the street that I shouldn't do without getting permission from the parents, I was literally attacked. People grabbing my shirt, and a guy took out a knife. Thankfully, my local friends.
See, that's the danger of going to different countries, because if you don't do your homework and your history and, you know, stuff like that, and check out to see what the laws are out there, you're going to get in some big trouble. You're going to get yourself in some big trouble. I'm going to tell you that, because that's like going to Dubai or one of these Islamic type of countries, and you want to go out there showing cleavage, doing what you want, acting a fool, you're going to get arrested, okay? You're going to get put in jail. They're going to lock you up, because everywhere doesn't function like the U.S. It's not like a free-for-all, you know what I mean?
Stepped in the way. Chad is also one of the dustiest places I've ever been. It's one of the hottest places. I just couldn't really jam with anything going on there. If you want to see the full story of what happened to me in Chad, you can check out my channel below. But I will say, I want to go back to Chad. I want to give it a second chance, but I don't want to go to N'Djamena. I want to visit some tribes in the southern part of Chad.
They even say that. Respect.
They have these really cool tribal marks and body modifications, and hopefully it'll be a better experience next time. Number 3 is Delhi, India.
These monkey horns are madness.
Welcome, India.
Hear that? I'm sorry to all my Indian fans out there who live in Delhi. I gotta say, your city is just not my favorite.
Have you ever seen this?
Look at that.
Don't forget to look up. You'll see the craziest concoction of tangled wires.
I love India. I've been 7 times. Definitely will be back again soon. The country, which is more like a continent, literally has everything. But Delhi, not so enjoyable. The pollution is terrible. People there are way more aggressive than elsewhere in the country.
Yeah. I'm gonna lie to you, I'm not trying to profile, but I watch a lot of these shows where they be catching the scammers and stuff, and they be scamming up in those countries like you know, India and stuff. Here I go again with this light. I'm gonna cause, oh my goodness, y'all. This is just, thank you guys whoever's watching right now, but this is just a hot technical mess, just back and forth. Like, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. I gotta see what I'm doing. I don't really need to see what I'm doing when I do my hair. I got this. I can do this with my eyes closed. You know what, guys, we'll figure this out in a second. Let's go back into the video.
Even big cities like Mumbai and Hyderabad, Chennai and Goa, and the traffic is unbearable.
Look at this traffic behind me. You can see how close they touch their shit. They literally like touch each other's wheels. Like the wheel will literally touch the bar of the next tuk-tuk.
I like traffic.
Every day?
Every day.
Every time I've been to Delhi, which is like 5 times now, I am pinching myself. Like, when am I going to be able to get out of here? It's a really tough place to travel. Horns! No, it is the gateway to India, especially to northern India. So a lot of people have to pass through. But like even Connaught Place, which is like the nice area of Delhi where a lot of cool restaurants and bars are and hotels, still wasn't my favorite place. Number 4 is Rosso, Dominica. Not Dominican Republic. It's a different country in the Caribbean called Dominica.
Dominica.
So I'm currently posted up in this house for the week.
We actually spent Deanna's 26th birthday in Rosso. I kind of had high hopes because it was my first time doing a big Caribbean trip and it was one of my first destinations in the Caribbean. But I was really, really shocked to find a toothpaste bottle worth $8. And it's not only the price thing. There was one market in town. Everything else was really run down and super sketchy. Like we were walking around and basically covering our heads because we just didn't want people to notice that we were tourists, even though we clearly stand out as tourists. Hi. And there was actually another really bad thing that happened to us, which I'm not going to go into detail in a place that is not on my list to go back to, and it's among the top 3 worst cities in the Caribbean. Number 5 is Port Moresby, Papua New Guinea. Now, Papua is a cool country in general because there's 860 different cultures there, speaking different languages. You have a lot of indigenous tribes. You actually meet cannibals, which is what I did on Papua Island on the Indonesian side. It's basically just one island altogether. I actually want a coconut water. But Port Moresby is really a different world because it's super dangerous.
People are being warned to stay off the streets of Papua New Guinea's capital following deadly riots in Port Moresby.
We call for a state of emergency for 14 days.
The moment I arrived, my local friend picked me up in his car and the windows were completely blacked out, like black. Even the front windshield, there was only a little sliver that you could see through it. And he said, welcome to Port Moresby. If you've ever heard the word rascals, like little rascals or little gangsters, or like a cute word in America for gangsters, the word rascal is actually the criminal gang of Port Moresby. It's a real word, and it's a serious issue if you're visiting Port Moresby. It's located in the world, but I gotta say,
There's no cute word for gangsters. We're going to fast forward just a little bit and skip through some countries. I thought he was going to at least go to Haiti, you know. Let's go a little bit and see.
Dear Dr. K,
but there's a lot of countries I didn't see him visit yet. A lot of countries I never heard of, but a lot of countries
they run down. There's not a lot going on, and it's just the overall safety is super sketchy. You really be careful everywhere you're going. And if you don't know people, it's really just not the safest place to walk around alone. I was seriously scared for my life. How much? 12? Thank you. Number 6 is Port-au-Prince, Haiti.
This whole area is controlled by gangs.
Damn.
He did it, y'all. He did it. He did it. I said he was going to go to Haiti. I said he ain't going to all the countries if he didn't go visit my country, you know, from where I'm from, the motherland. So I'm very excited about that. I appreciate you, Drew Binsky. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you. I could really go on for the night now.
Boy.
Sac passé, haïtien, na boule, manger, bon manger.
If you've seen the story I've done in Haiti.
Belle femme haïtien chocolat la.
Where I walk through the biggest slum where the biggest gangs are. It's totally chaos.
Tonight, the nation of Haiti is reeling.
We're going to never mind that part because, you know, they always want to show the gangs and, you know, that's like showing Africa. They always want to show the poor parts and the worst parts. And, you know, that's the reality right now. It is what it is. But we'll carry on and take it for what it's worth.
After the assassination of its president inside his home.
The president was killed and not replaced, so there's no official leading the country. Haiti's been just a downward.
Honestly, he's going to tell you because it's just our country. It's hard to have a person with good morals in power because the way the country is run, you know, sometimes you have good, sometimes you have bad, and sometimes you have more bad than good. And sometimes when you have good infiltrate with the bad, then the bad tries to drive the good out by all means necessary. So let him sum it up for you. Here we
spiral
go.
for the last decade or so. And it's really sad because it's a beautiful place in the Caribbean. When you're flying into the country, you can see the views out the window, which are pristine and beautiful white sandy beaches and green ocean water. But then when you get to Port-au-Prince, you just see trash everywhere.
Look at all the chickens in the...
Yes, Haiti also has a problem with the trash and that there's a landfill issue and everything like that because they don't have a sanitation system and thus forth and blah blah blah, just like Puerto Rico and all these other countries that's in the third world that they try to like get upset about when Trump made the joke. Well, that Trump didn't necessarily say that out his own mouth, but you know, the comedian that was on Trump's party said the joke about Puerto Rico, about trash being in the middle of the ocean, you know, called Puerto Rico. It wasn't anything like so off from the truth, you know what I mean? Because they did say in 2002 there was a report by the Environmental Protection Agency and also FEMA, Emergency Assistance Program, and everything like that. They conducted a research and they said that in 2 to 4 years, they would like the whole country would be just full of, you know, just floating trash. And that's literally 2 years later, 2024 going into 25. So I mean, you know, just
Trash. The smell of that trash burning is
really, really, really violent people in the streets, like fist fights I saw. And sadly, my local friend that I was with, Sean, my tour guide, he was traveling with another YouTuber named Arab a few months after I left, and both of them got kidnapped by gangsters and had to pay a hefty sum of money to get out.
Drew Binsky, you better take that part out right now, because that whole thing that you're talking about was a lie. The gangster himself got on and let everybody know that that guy was not even kidnapped. Okay, he pulled him aside to have a conversation with him, and the guy had to renounce everything that he said. Okay, because he did not get kidnapped. He was doing that for clout, to get a video click. It was like a click and bait. So Drew Binsky, please redact that part of your video.
No way that me, myself, will go back to this area any longer.
This one's a sad one for me because I really feel bad for the people in Haiti. I visited a lady's home that was completely flooded. When I walked around, she had water above her ankles in her own house.
I'm so sorry. I want to help this lady. I feel so bad. Why doesn't she want to leave to another house?
That's her home.
She would love to rent another house, but she doesn't have the need.
It's such a contrast from sharing the same island as Dominican Republic, which is like tourist haven. So hopefully someday Port-au-Prince will be safe again to visit. But for right now, it's definitely not the time. Number 7 is Dhaka, Bangladesh. Hands down, the worst traffic in the world. I'll never forget the picture I took standing on top of this bridge and overlooking Dhaka, and you're seeing total chaos. It's faster to walk the streets than it is to drive them.
stuck in traffic, not moving anywhere.
I just find India and Sri Lanka and Nepal to be a lot more exciting than Bangladesh. It's just really busy, really crowded, really stinky. Food is not super great. It doesn't mean I'm not going to give Bangladesh another chance. It just means that Dhaka is not my cup of tea. And listen, if you've been there and you loved it, I'd love to hear from you in the comments down below. Please challenge me. This video is based on my own personal travel experiences and nothing else. So please let me know what you think about Dhaka. Number 8 is Georgetown, Guyana. And I'm going to head into this Kung Fu Dim Sum restaurant to tell you more about it.
I have met a couple of people that are wonderful people from Guyana. And they come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. And they are just the sweetest people ever. Their hospitality, the food. My good friend, Miss Hattie's, she made me some wonderful fish and bake. It was basically saltfish, codfish, well prepared, seasoned well. Oh, so good. And she made fresh bread. It was like a bake is like a bread, like a fresh bun bread. And she made everything from scratch. This is what I love about countries outside the US. They cook from scratch. This country here has too much processed food. This is why people are getting sick. I can't stand it. And people run to go get a quick fix because it's like convenient and it's, I guess, affordable, but there's nothing affordable when it comes to my health. I want to see how it's being done from the bottom to the top. Freshness.
What? Here? Thank you. Yeah, green tea. This is going to be an excellent meal. I just hopped in here because it's crowded, and usually crowded restaurants are good. So Georgetown.
Hey guys, I just got to Guyana.
I went twice. The first time I went there, I remember checking into my hotel and the lady who works there said, don't leave past 7 o'clock. I said, why? She said, it's too dangerous to walk the streets. That really stuck with me because I didn't walk after 7 p.m. And walking around the afternoon the next day, it was super sketch.
You can't stop me.
All the Guyanas are not the most interesting places in the world. That includes French Guyana, Suriname, which is Dutch Guyana, and then English-speaking Guyana, which is just Guyana, which is the one I'm talking about in this video. Most of the country is covered in rainforest, which is cool for nature lovers. Actually, the diversity is really good. It's just, I guess, lack of things to do and just weird vibes. I traveled all around South America, had a great time on this 6-month trip, and then I ended in Guyana, and I was quite underwhelmed. Hello? Can I order food? Oh, okay. Sorry. This lady's hacking up a lung next to me. Oh my god, there's too many good options.
She must have drunk too much sake. I don't like that sake stuff. Like, people think that, you know, it's exciting to go to these type of hibachi restaurants, and you got this guy right here, you know, all freaky, talking about he gonna put this in your mouth and stuff, and people over here going like opening their mouth so people could throw sake in there. I'm not with all that. That's very uncomfortable for me, so I'll pass. That seems a little bit too intimate, and I don't need no Asian guy that I've never met from nowhere. We don't know what's in his mind and his thoughts, his intention when he throwing that sake in your mouth anyway. So I'll pass altogether.
Okay.
You have sake.
Thank you. Number 9 is Chennai, India. Once again, India is a great country full of culture, full of amazing stories and life like I've never seen anywhere else. But some of the big cities in India are just not enjoyable for me, and Chennai is one of them. I'll tell you one experience I had in Chennai. I woke up at 4 a.m. to watch the auction at the fish market, which is the largest fish market in all of South India. Most of the seafood you get in all of South India passes through this fish market. I like to watch the fishermen arriving with all the fish on the boat and the wholesale negotiations happening. And what I saw was literally disgusting.
Right. Guys, this is why you got to be careful when you eat in these streets. Cheap eats is going to cost you.
I've been to fish markets all over the world, from South Korea to Japan to Singapore. Those ones are usually clean and sanitary, and they watch the fish. But here, it's opposite. It's chaotic. They just throw the fish on the street. It's dirty. It's grimy. When you walk on the ground, it's a mix of dirt and tar and fish. So the fish were not only next to the barefoot feet, but they were on the street. It makes me not want to eat seafood ever again in India. It was just really jarring to see that with my own eyes. I don't know, like zero sanitation there. Chennai is also a big, busy city. Nothing that enjoyable for tourism. When I was there, I met a guy who keeps thousands of birds on his rooftop. He's like a bird whisperer, and he feeds them just for his hobby, which is cool. At 4 o'clock, the birds are going to come, which is in 4 minutes.
Guys, those are the most beautiful birds I've ever seen. Oh my gosh. It looks like they got a couple of New York City pigeons up in there too. You know, pigeons in the U.S. and New York will definitely go some places, because I think they'd be a little bit lit off the stuff that the humans be on out here. So they can go to great heights and great lengths. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're out there as well. Look, you can see them at the top left-hand corner right there. But these are the most beautiful birds I've ever seen. You know what I wanted to tell you guys? If you go to my channel, I have a lot of videos on birds. I don't know what it is with birds. I have this fascination. I used to have parakeets, but go on my channel and you'll see I have a video where I ran into this guy who it's a pet store, but he doesn't really open. It's a long story. He doesn't really open ever since the pandemic. People been stealing and robbing a lot. So, you know, it's in East Harlem. He doesn't want to open up his store and everything. But every day, a whole flock of birds, I'm talking about like a whole flock, like 100-something birds are like literally sitting in front of his door of the pet shop. And they're waiting there. And they're waiting for him to throw out some bird food, because apparently he's been giving them the caviar of bird food, and they just wait up there. So if you go check out my video, you'll see what I'm talking about, because it looks kind of like crazy, like it was a setup, You know what I mean? But this is real life. Like birds are like aware. They know they're gonna get fed.
And then the other cool thing about Chennai, 4 hours south, is a place called Pondicherry, where Oroville is.
Welcome to Oroville.
So the street sign is actually the Beatles crossing the road. These are all recycled CDs that are hanging from an umbrella.
Which is like an experimental community with a bunch of hippies that are living there without any money and on their own free time and just doing their hobbies and enjoying life.
I was born in Oroville, yes.
Where are you from?
I seen a story about this.
Anyways, Chennai should not be a place to add on your India bucket list. Number 10, Kuwait City, Kuwait.
Man, it is hot.
You see, he just talked about those people, those hippies that live out there. I don't know if you saw a story about these guys. Maybe I'll do a story at a later point in time. But these type of people thought that the world was going to end. And so they basically sold off everything they had and decided to live within this type of society because they thought the world was going to end. And when they realized the world wasn't going to end and they already gave up and sold all their possessions, you know, they just like kind of made the best of it. And they just like made the best of it. I guess they're stuck there in a sense, you know. So making the best of life. CDs, creations, upcycling. Hey.
I don't know. The Gulf is an interesting place. There are many cool places in the Gulf. Kuwait is not one of them for me. It's quite strict. The laws are intense. 99% of women are covering their hair, despite a lot of them not wanting to cover their hair. They're being forced. The first time I went was in December, and like the night market was pretty cool. Like the weather was nice, and I enjoyed walking around Kuwait. The second time I went in July, it was 55 degrees Celsius or like 130 degrees Fahrenheit, and man, it was hot.
I feel like I'm just walking in a sauna right now. I was not expecting this humidity here. This is challenging. Yeah, just dizzy.
Everything is indoors, shopping mall. It's nice. It's luxury. There's like a lot of like cool things.
This is like part of the culture.
Yes, you have to hide from the sun.
Every fast food chain I've seen in the US is in Kuwait randomly. But as far as like personal enjoyment levels, thank you. Compared to other places on the Gulf like Dubai or Beirut or even Jeddah, I gotta say, it just really falls flat for me. As I'm sitting here really hungry waiting for my dim sum, I'll tell you about number 11, which is Lagos, Nigeria.
Welcome to Lagos!
One of the biggest cities in the world. There's over 100 million people there, and it's growing really fast. Lagos, it's my fault that I only visited Lagos in Nigeria. I have to go back to visit northern parts of the country like Kano, like Abuja. There's actually some Jewish tribes up in the north of Nigeria, which I want to visit. But Lagos, I actually spent a week in Lagos. I was with my friend who's a YouTuber, Tayo Ina. He's actually a really cool dude.
Let's do it.
Shout out, Tayo. Your videos have become really great in recent years since we've seen each other. But I don't know. It's just big, busy, hectic. It's not like I hated it. It's just like a really hectic place, and it's not for the faint-hearted. And if you're not an experienced traveler, you might hate it.
Okay, so they threw baby powder on their faces and on my face, and I think it's for some celebration for like a newborn baby. So the cars drive so fast. And they don't stop for anyone. Like if you blink or if you lean one way, you're gonna get toppled over by a car.
The nightlife in Lagos is really cool though. Fellows Shrine, which is a really cool place for nightlife. There's a whole beach area with a bunch of like nightclubs on the water and a bunch of like street food.
Okay, I don't know what meat this is. I just kind of grabbed it. Oh man.
Cooking kebabs or drinking palm wine.
To know what my
it's actually a really cool vibe there at night, but I don't know. It's a bit hostile in the afternoon, a lot of traffic, and if you're not with a local, it's not a place that you would enjoy. Number 12, Guayaquil, Ecuador. The most humid place I've ever been, and it's funny because here in Hong Kong, it's also very humid. It's summertime right now. But Guayaquil was the death of me. And I understand, guys, that weather is not the main reason of why you should hate a place. But listen, guys, this is my own personal travel experience, which I've stated several times. Like, this is my own memories of each place I visited. So yes, I will give every place a second chance, but Guayaquil, probably my least favorite city in all of Latin America. The coolest thing about Guayaquil is its iguana park with this beautiful cathedral inside. There's like huge iguanas walking around.
Wow.
It was super congested, smelly. It's on the coast, but didn't really find good beaches there. People weren't that open. Quito is way better in every way possible. Cuenca is also better. I also got food poisoning in Guayaquil and I had diarrhea for like 4 straight days. So go figure. Oh my God, jumbo shrimp over rice. I can die a happy man now. Number 13, Karachi, Pakistan.
What's up, guys? We have just arrived in Pakistan.
Where do I begin? Holy crap. Sorry to interrupt with the food, but dim sum is one of the best meals on this planet. It's so flavorful with every bite. All right, Karachi. So I've only been to Pakistan once. I spent 2.5 weeks road tripping the country with Deanna, my wife, and a bunch of local Pakistani friends. So we had good treatment while we were there. But, you know, just like in India, like other places in the country are great outside the big cities.
What do you guys think so far? You like it? You like this different type of video, or you like the drunk videos better? Because, you know, we could go back to the drunk food.
Big, busy city that's dirty, crowded. People are in a hurry. Less people will come talk to you on the streets.
Hello, dude. Hey, how are you doing? Good, how are you?
The moment I left Karachi, Pakistan's in my top 20 favorite countries in the world. But Karachi is just a lot to handle. Like, if you didn't grow up in a place like Karachi, if you're from the Western world or you're from the US or Europe, it's just a lot to take in. Like, there's a lot of intense things. There's a lot of sights and smells that you've never experienced. Food poisoning is a real concern as well, which I had in Pakistan really bad. I will say in Pakistan, there's really good biryani, which is a Pakistani rice dish. But just do me a favor and skip Karachi when you go to Pakistan. You'll be much happier. Number 14 is Jakarta, Indonesia. Thank you. This is a tough one for me because Indonesia is actually one of my favorite countries in the world.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
But Jakarta is just not it. Among top 5 worst traffic cities in the world.
The traffic is like this every day.
Yeah, every day, everywhere.
Barbecue pork buns. This is like a 20 out of 10 meal right now. Like, I almost want to just melt into these bowls.
Guys, I don't know what you guys have to say, but I would love to hear your comments in the video. So if you get a chance, please shoot me a comment. Let me know what you think. You know, got questions about my little hair routine. You want to talk about Binsky. You want to talk about the countries. Maybe you visited some of these countries. I would love to know your experience because, you know, I could live vicariously through you. And, you know, at least till I can figure things out. And maybe one day I'll be able to travel there too. But for now, if you have any experiences to share, you've been to these places. I know I've been to Haiti before. And my experience in Haiti was definitely educational. Okay. I went there when I was like real young, like maybe, you know, like 10, 11 years old. It was my first time there because obviously I wasn't born there. But I speak the language, Creole. And when I went there, I don't know what I thought I was going to see, but I don't know. It was really an eye-opening experience because, you know, I was young at the time and I didn't realize that things were just a little bit different, like, you know, just a simpler kind of life, you know, like there's outdoor bathrooms. You know how you don't necessarily go to a regular market where the food is packaged for you. You know, there's markets there. Don't get me wrong. There's markets. I went to the market out there, but for the most part, they have these outdoor markets that we would call flea market, but it's like an outdoor market that they call marsh. And marsh means walk, like the walk. So you go on the walk and you can find everything there. It's like a market, but everything's outdoors. Like you have heaps of rice, like, and rice here as opposed to Haiti is much different. Rice in Haiti is fresher. It's grainier. It has more minerals in it. Rice here is like I forgot what it causes, but it's like it becomes, I forgot the word right now, but the rice here is not like the best to have too much of it, and because they process it everything in the US, you know. But anyway, we're not gonna go into depth about that. That's a different day, a different video and everything, because I can really go into that. I'll bring videos like that out, you know, that you can benefit from learning about your health and the right proper foods to eat that will aid you. But in general, I'm really ranting right now. It's late. That's what I do when I get tired. I like rant and I just like go on and on. I do my hair. If anyone really knows me that well, they'll know that I've been doing this since I was like a teenager, okay? Right before I go to bed, I get real talkative. I'll talk your head off because I want to be the last one, you know, to sleep and everything. You know, you don't want to be the first one to sleep. So I'll be the last one to sleep. And oop, you saw that, right? The aloe went flying, shooting this way. But I'm like the last one to sleep. And I'm obviously getting tired because I'm talking you guys' head off. But I think it was a good video. I love the food. I love dim yum sum. I would go to some of these places, but like I would definitely do my homework so I wouldn't be compromising my freedom while I'm out there, you know, like these YouTubers do. You know, we're not going to name any names, just influencers have been getting arrested lately, you know, doing stupid things abroad. And I'm not going to risk my safety. I'm not going to risk my freedom, nothing like that. Here, there, nowhere. Anyway, see how much hair came out? It's what it is. Hair grows back. You see how much of it I have. So it's thick. I'm talking your head off. Let's get back to the video. Drew, you did good.
So back to Jakarta. Terrible traffic. It's not a walkable city. Other cities in Asia are really walkable and enjoyable. Jakarta is not one of them. It's hard to make sense of what's going on because it's so big and busy. And you just got to get to the island of Indonesia. That's the pride and joy of the country. Number 15 is Chisinau, Moldova.
7 o'clock in the morning. Just got to Chisinau, Moldova.
The least visited country in Europe, and actually a pretty cool place. Chisinau just gives weird vibes.
It's like Fifth Avenue. Oh, for hot yeah. Oh.
If you're going for like dark tourism, it's cool. It's like a lot of communism, Soviet time relics, and brutalist statues, and it kind of feels like you entered Russia like 30 years ago. God, all the dim sum is here now. Thank you. I don't even know what I ordered. Too much food. Thank you. All right, back to Chisinau. I went there as a young 23-year-old, so that's maybe even part of the problem. I was on a shoestring budget and didn't have any local friends. So get yourself local friends and maybe have a little more budget and you'll have a good time. I got quite lost in the streets, and generally around the world, people are easy to approach and they're, you know, they'll go the extra way to help you out. I didn't find that in Moldova. I also got denied a Belarus visa in Moldova, so I was also quite upset. But knowing me and my adult life and what I love about Eastern Europe, I actually want to go back really soon, and I have a feeling I'm going to like it a lot more next time. Number 16 is Douala, Cameroon.
I need your help, and here's why.
I'm trying to get the YouTube Premium. This is going to be a recurring theme in my. Don't judge me. Thank you.
Yeah, I've been indoors the whole of last week. Just staying in your house.
Oh man, I visited Cameroon during a civil war, which was quite intense.
Yeah.
Oh, from the English-speaking region of Cameroon to the French-speaking region of Cameroon, and Douala was in the center of it all. I'll never forget walking through the market in Douala and being verbally harassed by everyone. Whoa! I was by myself, actually, which is not smart. It really scared the shit out of me walking through Douala. Then the next day, I hired a tour guide. He scammed me by like $300. I ended up paying him, got away from.
First of all, I don't know why he did that to himself. You go into Douala, you know how they looking at you, white boy. Oh, excuse me, YouTube. I shouldn't say that, right? But I got all types of colors in my family. It is what it is. But they looking at him out there like you're the colonizer. You know what I mean? Like,
man, I don't know, guys. I don't want to just sit here and share all my bad experiences in Douala. This list is not in order of my least favorite cities, but if I had to actually put it in order, I think Douala would be top 3. And now for the bite of this rice cake thing with barbecue pork inside. Rice cake. What an amazing invention that the Western world just doesn't know about. Cake made of rice.
No pork on my fork.
Put some meat inside and you got yourself a delicious meal. Number 17 is Brazzaville, Republic of Congo. Not the DRC, the Republic of Congo. It's actually right across the bridge from Kinshasa, which is the capital of Congo and the biggest city of the DR Congo.
Bonjour and welcome to Brazzaville, country number 188.
And I actually like Kinshasa more than Brazzaville. I thought there was more appeal to the city. There's more things to do. The most interesting thing about Congo Brazza, as I call it, the sappers are these guys who dress like really rich dudes. Like,
you guys never seen those dudes before? Oh my gosh. I just fast forwarded this crap again and it mess up like real swaggy, they call it, you know. But yeah, this has been a really good video, Drewski. I really like how you put it together and everything, you know, especially since you went to Haiti, you know, that just made my whole, my whole everything. So thanks for that. I got to see and learn about different places. This was really educational. I definitely feel like I have to watch this video a couple of times so I could like really see what place I could really see myself visiting. And, you know, you got to envision everything because that's how you can bring it to life and pray on it. So, you know, this has been a good video. I appreciate Drew Binsky here. Let's finish watching. I had something else to say, but it's okay. It'll come to me. But I hope you guys appreciated everything I did. I did my hair, so now you guys don't got to ask me, what do I do to my hair every night? This is what came out of it. This is normal. But guess what? My scalp is neutralized, and that's all that matters. We're going to do the same thing tomorrow again.
it's really sketch. Like Jamaica as a whole is wonderful. There's many cool places to go.
And we're off. Here we go, baby. Oh my God, this is literally a paradise.
There's beautiful beaches in Montego Bay in the north, Bob Marley's shrine where it's Bricktown is.
Just a cool place, man.
Yeah, man, nice clean place, bro.
There's
You heard about the Jamaican mud baths, right? The women go out there and then go get saliva. Don't make sure if you letting your girl go out there, make sure you go with her, because I heard about these mud baths and these Jamaican guys be doing a lot more than that out there. So if I were you, I'd make sure you make this a couple retreat, because you don't want her going down the mud pack area with the Rastas.
waterfalls. There's really cool experiences. Really, really good food, like they're cooking, like Jamaican patties, amazing food, coconuts.
Right here, we got a bunch of plates of curry chicken, and I can't wait to eat it.
The meat is so flaky and fresh. It's almost like you can still taste the Caribbean.
Oh my God, man.
A travel bug in 2012. I moved to Prague to study abroad and lived there.
I keep doing the same thing. That escovitch, you guys saw that fish? That's some good fish right there. Them escovitch. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's watch the swaggy people.
Thought that was kind of a cool cultural thing, but other than that, food not great. Sketchy to walk around. This is that shrine where it's Bricktown is.
It's a cool place, man.
Yeah, man, nice clean place, bro.
There's waterfalls. There's really cool experiences. Really, really good food, like they're cooking, like Jamaican patties, amazing food, coconuts.
Right here, we got a bunch of plates of curry chicken, and I can't wait to eat it.
The meat is so flaky.
It looked like escovitch or red snapper. Could be both, because that's what escovitch fish is. So, I love that. I love me some of that. My dad loves some escovitch fried fish, red snapper.
And fresh. It's almost like you can still taste the Caribbean.
Oh my
sea.
God, man.
It's absolutely amazing.
Fire.
But Kingston is just really big and busy and really overwhelming to visit. I even stayed in a nice hotel there, and like when I walked outside, I was like taken into this warp, and I was just approached by too many people. They all speak English. Hey, my friend, come over here, let me show you my shop. And that's the problem when you have English-speaking countries that are kind of sketchy, is they all want to sell you weed or cocaine or take you into their shop. and essentially scam you. You just gotta watch out for that kind of stuff in Kingston.
The Maliba Canterbury, no Paiwara, if you don't
Yes, I know.
Blanca Destiny.
And last but not least, number 20 of my least favorite cities is Honiara, Solomon Islands. In general, the Pacific Islands is a great region. It's way more enjoyable to me than the Caribbean Islands. Honiara does have cool World War II artifacts. There were some battles fought there, and there's leftover tanks and weapons and guns and just cool things to see. But Honiara, like Port Moresby, is really sketchy, and it's not that far from Port Moresby.
Drew Binsky, I love how you're going to that part of Jamaica and everything, but Haiti has a part like that too. It's called La Citadelle, okay? The Citadelle. That's where the war and everything, the highest point of the mountain, they have still have it set up like they were ready for battle with the grenades and the bombs and everything. It's still there.
Walking around with a guide is a must for your safety, so you don't get kidnapped and you don't get mugged. In fact, at the hotel I was staying at, the guy in the lobby that I met had just got mugged the day before and was like, "Don't turn down that corner." And I was like, "Okay, I won't turn down that corner." Honiara is probably not a place that is on your bucket list because it's like not really known to the world. It's just a few hour flight from Brisbane, but like nobody really goes there unless you're from Australia or unless you know about it. But if you are going to go to the Pacific, I much recommend Fiji or Vanuatu, even Tonga over at Solomon Island. Like especially the city there, it's just not a great place. Another city I just realized I missed on this list is Johannesburg. Super sketchy, super dangerous. In Johannesburg, they have guys that are literally criminals that will like dress up to be policemen and they'll flag you over on the freeway and they'll pull you over and they'll pretend like they're going to show you their credentials and give you a ticket, but they'll actually rob you and take your car. That's happened to 2 people that I know. In Johannesburg, it's just not enjoyable. Everybody I know who's from there, who's been there, has said the same thing. So it's not just me saying this. Of course, there are nice, rich areas in Johannesburg, but if you want to go to South Africa, go to Cape Town. Oh man, I literally cannot breathe. I'm so full. That was one of the best meals I've had in a long time. But hey, thank you for watching this video.
That was a lot of food. He downed it. But if you like what you saw just now, I got the hiccups. Go to Drew Binsky's page. I put the link in my description so you guys can check him out and subscribe to him so you can check out more of his travel videos. And he takes his girlfriend with him. Well, his wife stands above all. His wife. He takes his wife with him. So enjoy the video. Thank you guys. This is D Lady Diana signing off. Peace and love. Please like, share, and subscribe. You know what it is. Appreciate you. Boo boo.